Yeah, okay, everybody. This is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1. Welcome to the Saturday Murtathon. And how's everybody doing? And do I have audio? That's the most important part of this thing, so I'm not talking to the air. And good evening, Beth and Dodger, who are on the chat so far. And Sabrina and Rebecca. So we're getting off to a good start tonight. Thank you very much. Are you awake? Well, it's been a more or less interesting day today, an interesting Friday. And like I said, um, there has been activity on Friday, and I can't really say anything until Monday when the final decision is released by the court. Um, Now there was everything was taken care of and a decision was reached on Friday, but in their infinite wisdom, Broward County has not bothered to publish it yet. But interesting thing happened, and that is that somebody else published some of what happened, and he was pretty accurate according to the information that I've got. And that is our friend, so to speak, Margaritaville. Now, I gotta. Let's see, why all of a sudden am I not. Nope, that's not it. How doggone, I had this set up and all of a sudden it disappeared. There we go. Thought I was gonna have to do this all over again. Okay, let me go over here. I have to make an adjust. I'm adjusting my presentation here. I thought I had this set up, and lo and behold, I did not have it set up. But, okay, that looks good. We transition over. Now, as I said, Margaritaville apparently got in contact with a number of people down in Fort Lauderdale and was able to yeah, Marcia, that's true. I can say it even though it might change on Monday, but in the interest of a number of factors, including I want to be accurate, I don't want to get into speculating and then have everything blow up in my face on Monday. So I would just rather wait and get into specifics on Monday because then we'll have the decision as it officially came down by the court, and I can rely on that. Okay, now I'm going to try and cue this as we go along. Now, some of you may have seen this video that was put out by Agent Margaritaville. 2,339 people have already looked at it. Jeez. Must be nice. Anyway, so we scroll up. And of course, it starts off Field McConnell stood in bail court March 6, 2020, and learned more about his fate. TCH's lies have painted Field into a corner from which he will have to face his life in a new way. And boy, is that an understatement. And we go on. I don't believe you'll ever be hearing from Field again. Denise McConnell was a no-show at the bail hearing, which is really no surprise because uh, it would have been something of a long trip for Denise to go down there. She has made no attempt to secure Field's bail monies that anyone knows of. No, she hasn't. Nobody has heard from her. Field has learned that his future will be one spent with those he loves. His children have rallied around their broken and demoralized father. That's not entirely correct. There is one offspring that has come to the rescue of his father, and that is his son, who happens to live in Florida. Field is coming to terms with his future and faces the effects of his own actions, and also the cost of believing those around him who have damaged his life and work so dearly. Well, that's partially correct, because there's one person that we can put in the blame corner, and that is Timothy Charles Homestead. And yes, I understand that Phil McConnell's has responsibility for his own actions as well, but he is proven to be easily manipulated. He's been manipulated for quite a long time with these conspiracy theories, and because of that, Field has found himself in the position he is now. So I agree with that, Sabrina. The Able Danger and the Children's Crusade has officially ended. This means, according to Agent Margaritaville, that Able Danger, who is the person overseas who was in with Field McConnell, has abandoned him as well, and the Children's Crusade is as good as gone. The court has ordered all channels connected to Field, all his email, and all social media to be source deleted. Now, this will be confirmed Monday. I cannot confirm this yet. Agent Margaritaville seems to have gotten this information, and he is saying that this is what the court has ordered. Now, this is extraordinary that the court would order Field to take this step, and he hasn't even gone to trial yet. So, that in itself is a remarkable development. Surprising development, actually. To Eager Beaver and others whom I tried to shield from civil litigation, I am sorry, but your window has closed. Now, I'm not sure what he means by civil litigation, and that would usually mean that somebody's going to take legal action. I can also confirm that the reasoning of the court has nothing to do with Mrs. Picasio or her charges, but entirely as a result of new evidence which came to light after Field was already arrested. Now, more than likely, what he is talking about is the Cynthia Absug situation and a number of federal investigations that are going on. Now, remember, I have, over the last several months, have alluded to investigations that are going on by state and federal agencies. This has been the case since, I believe, August. I'd have to check my notes. But I have stated time and again in my drive-a-thons that Field McConnell and others are under investigation. And we move on to this. The detective in charge of this matter has a large stack of recordings and transcripts of calls made by Field to and from others inside the jail, which has now caused more restrictions to be placed on Field before securing his release. And this, again, is going to have to wait until Monday, but in order for me to confirm information that I have. His bail amount was not lawyer, as there are other legal troubles coming his way. That is correct. His bail has not been lowered. Ugh. Getting a bit of a tongue twist tonight. Sorry about that. Many others will be arrested and prosecuted as a result of Timothy Charles Holmes' death and his sick, twisted mind. That is true, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Note, there is no Pentagon pedophile task force for which Tim claimed to be an entrusted reporter. Tim and Randy Q and their posse are all frauds. They conspired and took over Field and David's voice and used it to defraud hundreds of thousands of able danger listeners of somewhere around $1 million. Now, the figure amount I personally can't confirm, but it sounds about right. And everybody grab pencil and paper, your smartphones, and put this in your contacts list. I will not be commenting on this matter again, except to suggest that everyone who gave to this fraud please call the FBI field office at 3600 South Lake Drive, St. Francis, Wisconsin. 53235. The number is 414-276-4684, and report Timothy Charles Homeseth and his group of grifters. And this is regards Agent Margaritaville. Now, Agent Margaritaville is the one that is making these accusations, and he is the one that is making these claims. I, for one, believe him based on information that I have at my disposal. And as far as the specifics of what happened Friday, we again are going to have to wait until everything comes out in the official court record on Monday. But as far as everything goes, what has happened in this court is nothing short of amazing. I have covered court cases for 20 years. Well, basically just as a citizen go in and sit on courts at the state and federal level. We have a state and federal courthouse in Orlando, and I've been to both. And I have never heard of anything that is supposed to have come out in this court. And so we are going to have a real interesting day when the Brevard County Clerk finally posts the correct information so that we can all go through it. Unfortunately, it's going to start out as a drive-a-thon on Monday or Tuesday, whenever they decide to publish this thing. And then on the Friday Murtathon, I will get into it. Now, let me bring this down to I'm going to open this up, so bear with me. And I got to bring this over here. Now, Agent Margarita has stated the following. I have spoken to Howard Son, who called me this week after I accidentally sent him my draft letter, which I also encoded into the video on the subject in an attempt to give him some groundwork on securing Field's release. I have also spoken to people at the DA's office and Mrs. Picasio. I am not under any court order or restriction. I just did everything I needed to do to draw fire and ensnare Tim Homseth once and for all. The FBI and the real task force on human trafficking will perhaps be looking into this matter. How ironic. This will be my final word on Field McConnell and his legal troubles. It never had anything to do with me except Gooby stole my ideas and then TCH and his team of Randy Q, quote, grifting and associates, close quote, moved in for the kill. She was trying to extort poor Field and had Kay Pendergrass and others influencing his decisions. Randy Q even tried to force Field to mortgage his house for her. That's partially true. What Randy stated she wanted was to have Field sign a promissory note. I don't know if the house was collateral or not, but generally he's correct. I'm not clear on the specifics of that one. Denise wants him left in jail. That is a surprise. From the last I heard, clearly she would have won to the bank and taken. All right, clearly she would have gone to the bank and taken $10,000 to a bondsman and Field home last Monday. Otherwise, because he is my friend, I have also done everything I could do to help Field McConnell. Field will have to face the music arisen from his actions as well as others. Hopefully everyone, especially Mrs. Picasio and her family, can now rest a little easier. Yeah, we still have Tim Homseth to contend with. And let me bring this up. I wish to apologize from the bottom of my heart to Mrs. Picasio on behalf of all able danger for any loss, threat, and or harm which may have been caused on belief of those who believed in this noble cause. If we have a final word from Field, we will post it here. And basically that is supposedly going to be the end of the involvement of Agent Margaritaville in this situation. Now, that is kind of interesting that Denise has been relatively silent through this whole situation, and nobody's heard a word from her. As far as I know, she did not show up at the Watchman thing in Texas, and I don't know if she ever spoke. Now, they have at the time of the judgment 6 months to save that house, which means they have until sometime in June. And if the house is not saved by June, the bank takes it over. They had what they call a 6-month reprieve to get everything up to date. They have to pay the taxes, they have to show proof of homeowner's insurance, and of course they got to keep up with the mortgage. And as of right now, I don't know the situation with I don't know the situation as far as what's happening with the house right now. Boy, that messed up. Sorry about that. I had my all caps on. I'm doing some. Okay. Would help I turn my all caps off. What I'm trying to figure out is what I got a PM over here, and it's saying that um, Randy Erickson put this up, and she said something about Agent Margaritaville was one of the attempted hijackers. Attempted hijacking who or what? Yeah. Okay, and just getting some direct messages out of the way. Because let's see. Oop. Now, someone, see. Okay, let me look at this real quick. Okay, all that the 3-6 is what the Friday hearing was about, and then in May is when the first um, trial is supposed to take place, I guess. Or I'm gonna, I don't know if it's gonna be the actual trial or if it's gonna be a hearing or what's going on. But that will be the first time I will be in Fort Lauderdale, unless something comes up beforehand. Um, so I will be live streaming from Fort Lauderdale uh, in May, and yeah, I remember I'm on live chat, not top chat. Um, but I will be streaming live if I get my goal of 1,000 subscribers. I will then be able to live tweet from inside the courthouse. I cannot record the audio, and I cannot do video uh, of the trial, but I can live tweet. Um, I believe it's either the 6th or 7th of May. It's the first Friday in May. Marcia, they did not lower the bail because of the evidence that was brought into court, which I understand was substantial. But I will get into details once everything hits the court. But according to Agent Margaritaville, the detective introduced a huge amount of evidence into court, which apparently convinced the judge that it was necessary for him to deny the rather large bail. And so now the son, who is going to be the one that has to take the burden of coming up with all this, not only the bail or the fee for the bondsman of $10,000 cash, but he also has to secure in excess of $100,000 in collateral to satisfy the bondsman. So he's got quite a bit of a problem. Yeah, let me switch over here this person left this um, post on Twitter. And again, what this says, I am putting a call out to all patriots who were deceived or have important information about Field McConnell or the other scammers who surrounded him to contact the FBI in Wisconsin at 414 276 4684. Now, whether or not that's the same number, I don't know, but that's that one. And now, whoops, excuse me, I messed up on that. I've got to come down to this image and let me, that's what I should have done the first time. Darn it. This, I meant to have this all queued up and ready to go, but as usual, and this thing shouldn't even be there. Okay, let me bring this back. Okay, now. Okay. Timothy Holmseth, Robert Horton, and Randy Q. Erickson should be worried. They are pushing fraud on people about how Tim was a special reporter for the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. This scheme was used to manipulate Cynthia Abzug and also misleads Field's audience for donation. Now, I don't know who this person is. I have a feeling it might be Margaritaville again, but this is just, people are beginning to be more active in going after Field McConnell and Timothy Charles Homestead. People have had enough and they're getting much more. Hello, Ashley. Again, thank you for last night. People are quite interested in everything that you had to say, from what I understand. Sanibel Island, that's not too bad of a drive. Well, see you in court. I just happened to look up and see that just before it scrolled off. So I haven't been looking at the chat. I've been fooling around with the computer getting things set up. Sharpest attack. He is not a protected witness. If you're talking about Field McConnell and or Tim Holza, you might want to be specific about who the protected witness is. Alright, now I'm going to do this screen. Come over here to this one. Well, I didn't want that one. Okay, now let's getting my next slide set up because this is because Tim Holmseth has been at it again with his little conspiracy theories that he just loves to do. So let's see. And he came up with this Ukraine bombshell crap. Um, and what is interesting about this is he once again goes off on something that doesn't make sense, because if he is part of the hi Boucher, welcome. I'm only a few minutes into this, and remember, I do automatically upload this to YouTube, so you can always catch up on the part you missed. It's roughly a half hour into this mess. But the headline of the hour from Timothy, he posted this today, and that is Florida Ukraine bombshell. Now, he's ever since the Ukraine crap came out in the national news, he said that Agent Margaritaville was supposedly protected by belief of some hanger-oners. I have no idea. No, the FBI is not confused, that's for sure. They don't confuse easily. Okay, and you go down here, and the one thing to note is these two documents. I don't know if my mouse is showing up, but they're not readable. This apparently they're a receipt for documents he is supposed to have sent to the FBI. Now, Timothy Charles Holmseth is supposed to be in like Flint with the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. And so why is, well, yeah, it does. That's good. That'll come in handy. The Pentagon Pedophile Task Force should be doing all this. Why bring in other law enforcement agencies? This is what the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force is supposed to be about. But Tim Holmseth doesn't think ahead on this stuff. He just makes this stuff up on the fly. And the world will soon see and read the truth, details, and actual evidence regarding babies sold on the black market through the Ukrainian embassy, because will be presented as evidence in the United States District Court. And which United States District Court? Which district? That would be nice to know, so then we're not having to search every district court in the United States to find out where he's going to load this stuff, if he ever does. He's claimed this before, and he hasn't done it. It'll also show that CPS in the United States is used to kidnap and export children and newborns, and it will learn the details of a massive conspiracy set forth to keep it all secret. Well, this is curious considering the case of Cynthia Abzug, where it is alleged that people tried to get her to take this diplomatic export, get her kids, and get out of the country. That's exporting children. So is Timothy Holmseth by accident naming himself and his associates as being involved in this crime? And once again, and he's still clinging to Field McConnell, although Field McConnell does not accept any of his help. Now, on March 20th, Tim Holmseth gets into the fact that he published a video that he hoped would reach the ears of Field McConnell. And he gave the advice to Field McConnell that he needs to instruct his attorney, Howard Son, to subpoena the telephone records of a man from Canada named Gerald Brumell, known as Agent Margaritaville, on YouTube. I did not specify why Field needs those telephone records, but significant developments have opened the door for me as to why I advised Field McConnell to obtain these records. Now, We all know why. He's made that clear in all his stuff, both on Facebook and on his blog. So he's not. There's an active conspiracy against McConnell that involved international wire communications with judicial officers in Florida. Details, proof of the conspiracy are documented with emails and international telecommunications that have been secured. These documents will be filed in U.S. court along with other evidence. Again, Timothy Charles Homseth is in with the, quote, Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. The Pentagon Pedophile Task Force should be doing all this, not Tim Homseth. And under normal circumstances, you don't publish this stuff. Because now what you've done is you've given everybody a heads up as to what's coming, and they can prepare, for whatever comes down. He might, if this were true, you're going to have a bunch of people running off to foreign countries and doing a Tim Homseth and not showing up in court. So he's made the very first mistake of an investigator. You don't tell those you're investigating the details of what you got and what you're going to do, and give them a chance to either cover their tracks defensively or bug out like Tim Homseth did. So he's breaking every rule in the book of an operative of a secret agency. There are other victims, naturally. Tim Homseth is one of them. And he quoted Blumenthal, or Brummel. Sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. Apparently, Brummel's defense is going to be that he accidentally signed his blueprint for blackmail, extortion, and conspiracy against rights, which it was not. It was a suggestion as to what the lawyer could do to help mitigate the problem with Phil McConnell and getting out of the situation he was in. Basically, come up with a plea agreement, apologize to Kim Bocasio, stay off the internet for a set period of time, maybe do a little bit of time in jail or get time served, so on and so forth, which is something the attorneys probably already thought of. So Tim Homseth, as much as Tim Homseth has been in the court, both as a defendant and a plaintiff, he should know this. The video, I believe, is a very, now we get down to... Now, the thing about this, which I'm finally able to read it, is this is nothing new. This is something that happened on February 25th, 2010. 20 years ago. Exactly. Well, 10 years ago. I'm sorry. I'm not good at math today, but 10 years ago, Timothy Homseth sent 3 compact discs containing audio clips. And these have been out there before, and there's nothing on there about the Ukraine embassy and so on. It's the same stuff. You could read his book and see the accusations. And it lists his address and everything when he was still in East Grand Forks, Minnesota. He is no longer a resident of Minnesota. And it's one additional compact disc containing private call from William Stubbs. And he's played this thing 100 times. I mean, it's no secret. So this Florida-Ukraine bombshell is a bald-faced lie. He's done it again. He recycles old stuff. He's done this for years. And this is documented proof of it here. We have a document dated, this one's dated April of 2010. So it's 10-year-old material that's already out there. He wrote about it in his book. He's played it on his YouTube channels. And, so it's out there. So Tim he lies and lies and lies and lies. But, and what's funny is there's people that believe this crap. And, and over on the other side of the mountain, you know, Randy said, I don't know who this is, but they hit the nail right on the head. Exit, fix it fast. As one of the attempted hijackers, they did not succeed. And of course, Tim doesn't explain what is this hijacking it's all about. And she recycled his crap, which is what she always done. And so, same old, same old. And I didn't show any of that, but I read it. But if you could go over and you can read Tim's crap, and it's basically the same thing. He's recycling stuff that's been up there for years. Okay, Are You Awake wants me to refresh everyone with Phil McConnell relationship with Cynthia Ebsug. All right, back just before Phil McConnell was arrested, Cynthia Ebsug had skipped the court date that she was supposed to have with the state of Colorado regarding the custody of her youngest child due to this accusation of her having Munchausen's by proxy and so forth. And Sarah Dunklin and a woman from Virginia had talked her into getting the heck out of Colorado. And so her and this character who dropped out of med school were in contact with Field McConnell. Now, Cynthia had called into Field McConnell's show before and discussed her case, and Field McConnell had given her advice on not getting lawyers and so forth, if I remember correctly. And anyway, at some point, they showed up at Field McConnell's house, and they missed getting arrested by a matter of an hour or two, a very short time. And it is alleged that Field McConnell gave them a firearm. Someone gave them a car, and they were off. They went to Virginia, they went to Arkansas, went to Florida, they went all over the place. And it's alleged that Sarah Dunklin gave them money. There was a woman in Virginia that wanted to give Cynthia Ebsug a diplomatic passport. They wanted her and her child out of the country. And when they went down, eventually wound up down in Florida. They got some paperwork from E-Clause through the owner, Chris Elliott. From there, they went up to Arkansas and stayed in a rundown, dirty hotel on the bank of a river in the area where Miss Dunklin lives. And then from there, they wound up going up to Oklahoma, I believe it is, to the town where Northwest Liberty View News operates out of. And on the way out of town, they were pulled over by the police and arrested. And it is alleged that the teenage daughter of Cynthia Ebsug, had filled out an affidavit to the local authorities in Colorado explaining what was going on with her mother and saying that she had gotten mixed up with Phil McConnell and all these other people. At the time, she was saying they were QAnons and they were planning on kidnapping her brother and taking him out of the country, and that they may or may not do harm to the people that were allegedly being the foster parents. And as far as I know, she is still in Colorado, or still in Oklahoma, fighting extradition, and eventually she's going to wind up back in Colorado. But the latest I have heard is she is cooperating with authorities uh, with the investigation regarding this attempted kidnapping, and that she will likely testify against Field McConnell, possibly Sarah Dunklin, and anyone else that was involved in this incident. And so that's basically where there's at. Now, there is videos that I've done on this earlier. You can also go over to Northwest Liberty News, who has interviewed her extensively, and go through his videos of where he talked to her. And she went through it in detail. Northwest Liberty News did, I believe, a 3-part series where he had on the medical student slash companion of Sarah Abzug, and he went through in detail what happened when they were on the run. He explained how the bodyguard showed up and was supposed to be taking care of Cynthia Abzug, and it turned out to be the male companion slash boyfriend or whatever of Miss Dunklin. And apparently he is living in an apartment near Sarah Dunklin's residence in Arkansas. But he played a major part in this. I believe it was his father's car that they used to go on the run. And they used burner phones and all kinds of stuff to try and avoid being picked up. Okay, let me see. L. Kennedy, yes. E-Clause apparently gave her some advice, and like I said, there was some piece of paper that they gave her. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to be, but it was some kind, it was an E-Clause thing of some kind. And they stayed at his residence. Big surprise to his mother, I guess. But they stayed there briefly, got a hotel in Ocala that I'm quite familiar with. It's one of the few hotels where you can stay and not have to provide any identification, and they will accept cash. Now, that's in violation of Florida law, but they do it anyway. Their hotel's been... Yeah, it's the dead grandfather's car. All right, not the father, the grandfather. Thanks for the correction on that. But it's somebody's car that's not his, is the point here. They came up with a boneheaded idea that if they used a car that didn't belong to this guy, they were going to get away with it. But, I went into a video where that's basically a pretty dumb idea, because they are going to find the car one way or another. And, what did he do with his car? I mean, if they switched cars, he had to do something with his car. So, it just wasn't very bright. And well, that's correct, Sharp. Tim does anything to garner attention, and he does not mind negative commentary. He thrives on it. He's one of these no publicity, bad. There's no such thing as bad publicity. He likes the attention, negative or positive. He'll just sit there and do his thing. And oh, that's brilliant. The car had expired tags. Boy, now was that his car that had the expired tags? That I can understand that, but I was under the impression that I think in the Northwest Liberty show, somebody can correct me, that they said that the reason for the car switch is they didn't want the car to be traced back to him. So they used this dead guy's car in order to try and elude authorities, and, well, it did work until the cops picked him up, and it's probably because the daughter gave him the information on the car. They said, driving this car. This is the tag number, so on and so forth. And so they got picked up. So, you know, his dad's car. I thought it was the father's car, But the main point of the thing is that it's not his car. It belongs to a dead guy. And, huh, they were popped for expired tags. That's the first I heard of that. But that's dumb, driving around in a car with expired tags. That's just brilliant. I'm surprised they weren't picked up before that, because all these, police departments had this little, they got license plate readers now where they can just drive up behind you and the computer does everything for them. They don't even have to type it in. Okay, keychain, Kev chat, thanks for that. I just, it's been a while since I've heard the show, and somehow I forgot about that. But that's registered in the mother's name. That's even dumber. That's just, they do things that they think they're going to get away with it, and then they wind up doing stupid things. The car had the expired tags, gets pulled over, and they got popped. Although there was a bolo out on the thing anyway, so it doesn't matter if the tags were expired or not, they would have pulled the car over. They took her, let him go, so they didn't care about the expired tags apparently. So, this is what I like about having people come in the chat. If I make a mistake, they can correct me and we can kind of get the accurate information going here. Because it's been a while since I've heard that recording or heard the show. And, so I'm just trying to do all this from memory. And, I'm bound to make mistakes. So I appreciate the corrections, folks. The mad student is involved with a whole mess. He was deeply involved. He contacted Cynthia in the beginning. He apparently was someone that got wind of her plight, and he contacted her, and the rest was history. Oh, you want me to send you a Hemi? I thought you had me a Hemi to send for me. I don't have any nitro Hemis. The only thing I can do is, if you're serious, I can put out some feelers with my collectors to see if anybody has one hanging around. They're not cheap. It's a very expensive engine with or without the nitro kit. Thank you, Rapunzel. I appreciate that. Well, Bouchy, it depends on how much it was expired and the attitude of the cops. I think they may have had a priority where they're more interested in Cynthia than they were about some dude driving a car with expired tags. I would have thought that the cops would have taken the car in, but apparently they were more interested in getting her than worrying about a car with an expired tag. They probably figured, well, we know what the guy's driving, so we'll just keep track of him that way. Because I can guarantee you they haven't forgotten about this guy. Maybe a little bit of both on the money and sex, who knows. Yeah, Don Garlitz up in Ocala has a lot of stuff. And he's a big Hemi dude. So go up to the Garlitz Museum in Ocala. He's got all kinds of stuff up there. Mertz Minions, what the fuck is going on? Well, we are having a chat like we do every Saturday and Friday. We're just chatting about this, that, and the other thing. That is what the fuck is going on. which is why I've got an age restriction on here, because, everybody's free to swear. Okay, yeah, I agree with you that um, they probably won't hold him. They'll use him as state witnesses. They'll use him as a witness, material witness, they call it. So if there's any federal charge and trial to come down, he'll be brought in as a material witness. And they would probably make him what the hell's that term? But they have a special thing that they call people. Yeah, sure, Lane, you can. Yeah. Sometime I ought to find that song. But what's funny is it's not a word, it's an acronym. It stands for use of carnal knowledge. No, you're fine, minions. Um, Hell, I like to cuss too, but I just, fuck it. Yeah, I was. When you're a truck driver for 40 years, there's a lot to cuss at. Hey, you fucking idiot! Don't stop in front of me, you stupid fucking son of a bitch! Get out of that lane, so on and so forth. Been there, done that. Still do it. Yeah, That's the one thing about Florida. You'll use the F bomb on an hourly basis here. Pick one dumb old farts that come down from up north and drive like they're driving a wheelchair down the middle of the road. Fucking old buzzards. Anyway, I'm a truck driver, I swear. Oh, God, here we go again. Do I go to the mall in Pinellas? No, I don't go to the mall in Pinellas. That was a counterfeit chat that was made up and used by Tim Homeseth. And it's complete fiction. You can call the Lake County Sheriff's Department in Florida. You can call the Orange County Sheriff in Florida. You can call the FBI in Florida, and they will bring you up to date. Everybody speeds. We have we have the speed limit plus 5 in Florida. You can go 5 miles an hour over the speed limit and guarantee not to get caught, and sometimes you can go 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. So if I want to make a short mobile-thon, I will go 80 miles an hour down the Florida Turnpike when I go to the airport. Shaves about 4 minutes off my babble time. Okay, I've been asked the question, who is that woman on Twitter that said Tim has gone crazy and she blames Kim and Levi Page for driving her over the edge? Uh, it's a woman that owns a pizza franchise in Virginia, and she is, or was, the most loyal person that Tim Homeseth ever had. Um, what happened to Trenton Duckett? His mother killed him. That's what happened to Trenton Duckett. It's an unsolved case, never will be uh, solved because the mother committed suicide. The local law enforcement pretty well has concluded that the mother killed him. So that's what happened to Trenton Duckett. Anyway, getting back on subject. The latest Twitter account that the woman was using was Teslana. And, she just, for whatever reason, blamed Kim Bacasio and Levi Page for what happened to Tim instead of blaming Tim. But that's, that's the thing. Tim has his staunch believers. Charlene, the adoptive parents um, sued Nancy Grace and HLN because what had happened is Nancy Grace had grilled the young lady on camera, grilled her, and then put up the entire interview of her on HLN. And this was, within a very short period of time that Trenton had gone missing. And she went up to her grandparents' house in the Villages, Florida, Fruitland Park, which is right, about 10 minutes from her house, went into their bedroom, took a shotgun, and blew her head off. And because of that, the case remains unsolved. If Melinda Duckett had not committed suicide, perhaps we would have known what happened to Trenton Duckett. But Nancy Grace allegedly drove her over the edge, and she couldn't stand it anymore, so she just, boom, that was the end of Melinda Duckett. The lawsuit, I believe, was dropped. I don't know if there was a settlement or what happened, but nothing became of it. But the adoptive parents were mad as hell. Melinda Duckett was adopted from South Korea by the Eubanks, who lived up in northwest New York State. And somehow she wound up in Leesburg, Florida, got hooked up with Joshua Duckett, and they had Trenton. I've got the volume up as high as it goes on the microphone. You may want to check your end and see if there's a way to turn it up, because I'm blasting right into the red zone on my VU meter over here. I don't know if anybody else is having problems because I'm using the headphones, so that should be blasting the heck out of me. But as far as the Leesburg City Police Department is concerned, they were the lead investigative agency in the Duckett case. The case has to remain open because they can't close the case even though they suspect Melinda did it because she's dead. You can't prosecute a dead person. It just, that's the law. The reason Timothy isn't arrested is because the bench warrant against Tim Holmseth is a misdemeanor warrant. It's only good within the state of Minnesota, and he's sightseeing all over the country. So until there are felony charges against Tim Holmseth, he's going to escape justice indefinitely. And it is likely that eventually he is going to get hit with federal charges. I give everybody permission to use the F word. So, there's no fucking restrictions on using the fucking F word. I'll probably watch Q-versity one of these times just to kind of learn. I'm on a steep learning curve when it comes to Q. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. Sabrini, yes, they are. And the Absug case is one of one, two, three, four, 5 or 6 that he may be involved in when all is said and done. A person, you're correct, because what they do is they law enforcement wants to build a foundation of evidence and they want to be as thoroughly as possible they can because when this thing, if they take it to a district attorney or state or federal prosecutor, they have to be able to show that there is enough there for the prosecutor to go ahead with prosecuting. And then from there, the state attorney wants to make sure they have enough evidence to take it to trial. Yeah, I should have used the headset before. I started using the headset, switched over to the blue mic, and the blue mics are notorious for picking up vibration. Even though it's on a stand, it just, I've got this big desk that everything's on, and it just picks it up. And if I start thumping, it's going to go through the mic. So until I isolate it, I went back to the headphones. Um, Now I'm going to rework uh, this system and put up the original microphone stand to put the blue mic on, and it should eliminate the pumping problem and the necessity for me having these headphones on. Because believe it or not, I don't get any audio out of the headphones. The audio comes out of the speakers. It's weird. Sabrina asks, has anything come out of the EdSug case? Has she or anyone else charged still sealed? I believe the case is still sealed. I haven't read anything. Every once in a while I check and all I get is old information. So until something of substance comes out of the EdSug case, we're not going to really be going anywhere. I've let it be known that if she ever wants to come on and talk about her case, she's welcome to do so, but it's obvious that her attorney's probably going to tell her to shut up. So we probably won't hear anything from EdSug until there's been a lot of progress on her situation and on whether or not she's going to be charged criminally. So yeah, the case is still sealed. Excuse me. Sarah Dunklin case. What's happened with Sarah Dunklin, as far as I know right now, she's smack dab in the middle of a custody battle for her daughter. The husband got wind of all the stuff she was doing with Cynthia Abzug and others, and so he's trying to get permanent custody taken away from Sarah. There's a hearing that's supposed to be coming up sometime towards the end of the month that's supposed to settle the custody situation. As far as anything criminally, I don't know. Okay, Jack. Glad we were able to work out the volume. It's just I have very little control over volume at this end as far as any more. Yeah, she has temporary custody. The husband had filed for permanent custody. He had custody of the child. Her father got a retired judge to quash that judgment, and she got the child back until this investigation is done. Yeah, Charlene, I heard that Sarah Dunklin is breastfeeding a child that is 8 years old, and I still cannot wrap my head around that, if that's true. Yeah, how many people do that? I've never heard of such a thing. Thank you, Charlene. No, it's not so much they have issues hearing. They're going to have to set the audio. They're going to have to check the audio settings on their individual devices, because depending on what they're using to either the browser or the utility within YouTube, they usually have to adjust it at their end. I've got this thing turned up as high as it can go, and it's a noise canceling headset, so that does affect volume on some units. Okay, why are we not? Okay, I'm trying to do something here. Interesting. Hmm. Okay, patriotic. I'm glad we're getting the audio worked out. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's just. Well, trolls are gonna troll. I mean, they just, you know, that's the thing with trolls. They love trolling. Yeah, that. Let's see. Sharper's attack. The most important thing that you could do right now. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Never mind. Charlene, I doubt it. If she is, she's not using her own name. As I have never knowingly seen Sarah Dunklin anywhere on here. I don't even know she's on social media right now. Um, oh, there we go. So it's. Yeah, okay. That was. I couldn't remember your relationship with Sarah. I imagine she's lost quite a few friends over this situation because there's a lot of people that don't believe in what she's doing. All right, I'll be back in just a minute. No, I didn't break anything. I had to pay homage to the porcelain god there for a couple of seconds. Uh, yeah, let's just say I'm not good at holding my Pepsi. Goes in one end, comes out the other. Yeah, Marsha, the secret's out. I don't know. Well, yeah, that would be one that Tom and Marcy would answer. Never mind. Patriot Soapbox. No, I haven't watched that. Alright, let's see what's going on in Crazy Town. Okay. Nothing new there. Dang, preacher's getting picky. Okay, who's this? Oh, she's back. I thought I blocked her. Oh, somebody's been raiding sir the somebody asked about uh Teslana earlier. Well, she just put up a picture of Randy Q, and I swear that would be a member of ZZ Top. Yeah, it is, because there's a picture up in the top left-hand corner. Um, all right, why did it? Let's see. Why does it keep doing that? She sent me, let's see. So I put that. Funny how that too. All right, maybe now it'll stay. Yeah. All right, this is it. Yep. Okay, and so we enlarge this. Okay, and I'll bring this in. Uh, Teslana does this. She'll sit there and she sends me pic. Oh, here we go again. How the hell did she get around my block? But the top picture was. Let me bring this down. There. That is um, Miss Randy. And I won't tell you who that is supposed to be. You know, she has this. Teslana has this thing for underwear. And she mostly what she does, she just keeps sending me pictures. She has a thing about pictures, but she sent this one of Randy Q um, and ZZ Top. And ZZ Top, I happen to lipstick Merc be hacked. Okay. I've been hacked so many times I lost count. So, let me put this over here a minute. I want to go down. Somebody put a my favorite ZZ Top song is Legs. I love that song. And they did, I can't remember what they did in That is her QAnon identification because her middle name is not Q. Um, but she has that Randy Q because she's a Q. And she puts up all kinds of QAnon stuff. So, okay, Dodger, I see you got that thing up an hour ago. That was interesting. Let's see, we're going down through here. Because Field McConnell is a fraud. I just put something up, and I was getting set to look at it, and Twitter refreshed it on me. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I went out and I bought a blue kazoo because I was going to play when Johnny comes marching home on the blue kazoo, and I can't play the damn thing. I'm not a good kazooer, so I'm going to have to work on that. Ooh, I just scroll up and you get motion sickness. Yeah, generally I've got an hour and 23 on my thing here, so I'm not understanding the difference. Oh, it'd probably be because you've been in here. It's 10:21. We're coming up on an hour and a half. So you missed 23 minutes. Okay, let's see. How did she get around my block? This woman is sneaky. Well, I hope Pip is a good thing. I've been called all kinds of names. Not all of them good. As people will know. Let's see. Let's see. Interact did something on March 1st. Whoop, get back up there. March 6th. Oh, this is what it. Chris Hallett talked about his two cases and how he showed them how to do their job. Never mentioned the money they owe on child support or drug convictions. They obviously lost those. Okay. As long as it's a good thing, I'm happy. Uh, hmm. That Field McConnell is a fraud account is an interesting one. Oh, I love this. Oh, this is slick. We'll do this one. Let me see if I can. Oh, Alex did this one. Holy crap, that's a good machine. Two solid states with 16 gigs on the memory. Whew, that thing will push along at a pretty good clip. Oh, that's Phil McConnell doing the duct tape dance. Yeah, Alex does these gifs. Funny as shit. Margarita guy says Denise is AWOL. I do not know if she is or not. Um, I can't confirm anything that um, Margaritaville says. He did claim that he's been in direct contact or attempted to have direct contact with Denise McConnell, and she apparently is just uh, giving up on Field, um, which would make sense because there's no, I haven't heard anything um, about Denise, haven't seen any videos. Uh, Interesting. So now we're back to that again. Um, she is in Plum City. Well, that's what I've heard. I've heard that she's in Plum City, that she's not in Plum City, that she may be down at that thing they had in Texas. It's those who know for sure would know the truth. I just don't. I have no way of verifying it other than somebody's word that she's in Plum City. But she was a no-show at the trial, from what I understand, or at the bond hearing. So I don't know why this thing keeps popping on. Oh wow, threw her ring off pretty well. She was not on the list of people speaking. Okay, well that settles that. He has talked about Kim about a no. That I do not think that's true. Kim does not want to get involved in anything uh, with the internet. She just wants to get this over with and live her life. She's not really much of a social media person. It's surprising she even comes in my chat. Um, she was never really into social media before the Casey Anthony case, and other than doing what everybody else does out there, you know, a very little bit, she um, doesn't want anything to do with the internet. Um, Hi, Mish. Glad to see you too. Yeah, first build was an MSI. Oh, okay. I don't do a lot of building. I modify. I don't build all that much because it's just a pain in the neck, and it's anymore. It's not cost effective. This machine I got here, it's a pre-built machine, and then I went and I got this 48-inch monitor. It's a 48-inch Dell. Um, it's not supposed to kev chat, but from what I understand, the details that I have been given that I can't talk about right now is this is a rather amazing one. They were supposed to have it Monday. They postponed it until Friday. And I don't know exactly how long it lasted, but um, it's from what I've been able to get so far, it was an interesting one. I just have to, rather than talk about something that I can't confirm, I'm going to wait until Monday or whenever Broward County feels like publishing the decision. But according to Margaritaville, uh, he's given pretty good accounting of it. Agent 19 did a video the other night. Monograph is doing his thing, mostly about uh, the coronavirus and other stuff. He's pretty well moved away from Tim Homestead and his shenanigans, so I don't know what he's going to do from here on out. Yeah, I don't like the pre-builts either for that reason, but what I do is I go in and I remove it all. This machine doesn't have that much on it, so um, this is an iBuy machine that I picked up. I use it exclusively for live streaming and nothing else. I have another machine that I use for everything else, and it's doing a pretty decent job. It has a little bit of a quirk in it, but other than that, it's running along. Yeah, I know that agent. Oh, okay, you're talking to Minions. I'm sorry. No, they're two different people. No, there won't be any results in the bond hearing until Monday, because the court's closed. They don't do any data entry once the court closes. Everything's going to have to wait until Monday. Hopefully, sometime Monday, something will come out. Um, and then I will be able to talk about what is on the order, which is going to be interesting. Yeah, firemen, I believe that's what they're going to do in this case, is they are going to the son is going to have to take out a mortgage on his house. Um, or at least what they'll do is the bondsman will put a lien on the house for the amount of the collateral on the bond. Because he wants to be sure to get his money back if Peel decides to go to merry old England. And someone is going to be out $10,000 plus attorney's fees. This lawyer's not cheap, so out of pocket, there's probably going to be between $15,000 and $20,000 by the time this is done. Just plug in a slave, remove the jumper, and place non-slave to make the slave a master. Well, that's the good old days. I thought there were different procedures now for that. Um, as far as assigning your primary drive. Well, this is going to be the son that's going to have to put out the money. God, how do you pronounce that? Um, Bill McConnell's son and Stewart is the one putting up the bond. He's a business owner, so he's probably reasonably well off. He's retired military, so he's probably got something from the military. So, uh, I don't know how much debt he has. He's in a gated community up there. Yeah, they're Field gets more charges. That attorney bill going up, up, up. They are holding the other three charges in abeyance, and that means that they can, at any time, file the other three charges. They did the exact same thing that Tim Holmes said. Um, so, Thomas, I believe what uh, Margaritaville and the other person was suggesting is that if you are a victim of the scams, then you would want to call the FBI and file a complaint, as well as with the Federal Trade Commission. Did Field McConnell lose his house? He likely will. Uh, there was a judgment issued, but they have given him time to catch everything up and to prove he has homeowners insurance. He has until sometime in June to clear the matter up. If he does not, then the bank will take the house over, it will go up, and a foreclosure auction, and that will be it. Yeah, if you get the right SSD, it's much faster. A lot, my operating system is on my SSD, and then I store all my files and programs and everything on the uh, hard drive. I got a 1 terabyte hard drive in this thing, and then I've got external hard drive. So. I have feelers out on the cars. I have a waiting list of buyers that are waiting for me to contact them if and when the cars go up for auction. Why did Tim Homeseth get involved, or why did Field get involved in Tim Homeseth? That's a good question. I think he was talked into it by possibly Randy Q and other people. He hasn't known Tim that long. Yeah, we're talking 6 months, 8 months, not even a year. And it didn't take that long to bring Field down. It's just that somebody got to him and said, hey, we got a gold mine here. We got this guy that's published a book. He's got this, he's got that. We could, there's a little gold mine here. Because Tim self-published the books. And he had like 500 copies of these things. And they were going to take them down to this thing in Texas and sell them. Tim was going to sign them all, and so we'd have signed copies of this famous Tim Homeseth being sold, probably at least $50 for these signed books. 50 times 500, pretty good amount of money. And that went poof. Yeah, he would have had to insure right away. I don't know what's going on, but they, I keep checking the listings. The house has not come up on the list yet, which means they're still in this probationary period. And until that expires, they probably won't do anything with the house. It's just kind of sitting there. Hi, Levi. Welcome. Our mutual friend is putting pictures of you up on Twitter again. Or at least someone that is supposed to be you. Why? I thought I had her blocked, but somehow she got in. 1 terabyte, a SATA, another terabyte, and the 1 terabyte Western Digital. And the 5 terabyte. Yeah, you got a lot of storage there. It's a good idea to keep your videos separate. So the 5 terabyte you probably need if you're doing 4K. That's a pretty good unit. Levi, we're doing good. We're just doing the usual bull. And I'm doing fine. Tess Lana was in here again doing her thing. Matter of fact, let me see. I bugged out of Twitter, so I'm probably missing all the goodies. Bring her back up again. Because she's doing it. I thought I had that thing blocked, and somehow she got through, and she's posting pictures again. Yep, we got one. Let's see what this is. Send a link. abcnews.com entertainment. What the hell's... Oh, she put up the link to the lawsuit over Melinda Duckett. Well, she did something useful, because I was talking about Melinda earlier, and soon after her son, and But, that was a bad move on Nancy's part. I disagreed with her for doing that one. Boy, that lawsuit lasted for 4 years. Wow. So, yeah, there was a settlement in that. I figured there was. But um, a chiropractor isn't supposed to draw blood. I personally don't know. They're medical professional that have to. I don't know why a chiropractor would be drawing blood. That doesn't make any sense. I suppose, and you go through preventive medicine, they draw blood from you all the time. About every 3 months, I have to go to the lab and get my blood drawn. They check, see if I'm going to die or not. Well, I don't know if he was a whistleblower or not, but he blew his whistle when he got messed up with Tim Holmes. Well, he's definitely moved on. I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, Tim has always been an idiot. That's an understatement. He was born an idiot. I'm on an O2 machine. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's funny. I never heard of Field McConnell until he got mixed up with Tim Holmes. It's just, and I really didn't care for Field McConnell until he got mixed up with Tim Holmes. Oh, an oxygen machine. Okay, I should have known that from when the O2. Um, I don't. I think that chat that might be a state thing. It varies with state to state. I don't know what the laws are in Wisconsin, but I know when I go in for the lab checks, it's always a lab tech that draws the blood. Hell, we began, Walgreens and CVS are now doing blood work in their stores. Um, the company that was doing my blood work and that of Cheryl's, they made a contract with Walgreens, and now Walgreens does all their blood work. It's really weird. But Florida's always been on a fairly lenient when it comes to these kind of procedures. I'm not into satanic stuff, so I don't get into satanic ritual abuse or any of that stuff. I don't believe in it. Not to, if it's going on, it's not as widespread as people say it is. There's always going to be an idiot out there that does this kind of weird stuff. And I have not been able to confirm this ritual in Field's house. Well, I agree with you, James. It's my opinion that Q is a fake, even though people keep wanting me to look into it more. But from what I've seen, I just don't believe in it. If people want to believe in Q, that's their business. Because I don't care about Q or anything. It's my issue is specific with what Tim Holmseth did to people, and now what Phil McConnell is doing to people. Phlebotomist. Okay. Well, Levi, we agree on something. Yeah, I'm just not into Q. Okay. So, not much going on in that neighborhood. Whew. Agreed, James. Well, Marcia, if it does, it does. It's not a subject I'm really into. I am mission specific right now, and that is with Timothy Holmseth and these cases surrounding the scammers and how they're taking advantage of people that believe in certain things and who are caught up in their own problems, such as these people. Um, I just would like to see people not be scammed out of their hard earned money and people not be put into danger and people not lose their kids because of stuff that's going on out there. Dodger, it's hard to know what Tim will do as far as panicking or not. Tim just doesn't seem to think he's going to be held accountable for anything. And eventually, he's going to be in for a rude awakening because this is not going to last forever. They're going to catch up to him. And it's a question of are they going to get to him in time before he does something serious or gets somebody killed? That's, you know, that's the only thing I worry about is if Tim is going to incite someone to do something drastic, and that's the only way they're going to do anything. Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. This is why I like to more or less try to keep things on topic and on mission here, and not get too wound up in some of this other stuff. Well, Tim has both Randy and the other young lady. Yeah, he's turned into quite a chick magnet. Okay, so far all I've got. I hope Timmy publishes material so I have something to talk about Sunday. Because right now there's nothing going on in Crazy Town. So. Well, I could hope we could all agree to disagree on whatever it is we disagree on and not kill anybody. And not start attacking each other. Okay. All quiet on the weird front. The only thing Timothy Holmes says is being babysat. Um, yeah, Tracy's one of these people you don't want to get pissed off. Yeah, she's Annie Oakley there, or Bonnie, whatever you want to compartmentalize her as. I mean, that girl ever loses her temper, someone's going to get a hole in the head. Yeah, I saw your video, Dodger, and yeah, that's the one of the reasons I can't bring it in the room is because it's copyrighted. Um, and it seems the only thing they do if you copyright it is they don't allow you or to post up copyrighted music is you can't monetize the channel, and then they'll put ads in or something. Because I ran into that with that Strangers in the Night, so I didn't get a strike. They just told me that I can't make money off it. Yep, Tracy Remington. Now, on that subject, apparently, um, Kathy Michael had sent a letter to someone saying that she did indeed get what she considered a death threat from um, Agent Margaritaville, and so basically, I don't question women that have had um, when they claim that they've had something violent, threats, or any of that. So, we have to kind of give her the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that. So I'm backing off saying that's a hoax. And also on the other side of the coin, Agent Margaritaville is innocent until proven guilty, even though he's a Canadian. So, I think the same standard applies up there to some extent. So, um, I'm going to tend to believe that Kathy did receive a threat of some kind, and it is not justified. I don't believe in people getting any kind of threat, um, death threats especially. The internet's not important enough to be engaging in that kind of conduct. Ooh, excuse me, folks. Animals are actually better than people. They're blunt and they're honest. If they don't like you, they let you know it. The eternal fight between good and evil. Yeah, well, Levi, it's the only thing is if she did get a death threat from Margaritaville, she needs to call law enforcement and stuff like that. So, but the issue seems to have gone away. You don't hear about it anymore. It's like one blip on the radar, and then all of a sudden there's no story there. So it's hard to know what's going on. But Well, well, Tim Holmes says he's behind a lot of stuff, so that's Kathy decided to join the bandwagon on that one. Oh Lord. Well, I guess that beats being a spokesman for the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. She's sent down by the angels. God, we got another Virgin Mary. Well, they're all nuts. Yeah, I think we can agree on that. Tim Holmes said the scared of dogs. Yeah, they probably sense what a wiki is. As far as Sarah Westall, I don't know if she's involved in any crap or she just, for whatever reason, got mixed up with this crowd. Um, that remains to be seen. Baloxer, I gather that's a cross or a mix between a bulldog and a boxer. Yeah, Chow Chows are excellent watchdogs. Those things is just amazing. Beautiful dogs. Well, Levi, she has. If you've talked to Kim lately, she probably does. For good reason. Yeah, I saw that, Dodger. Very well done. Yeah, a lot of eh. Yeah, Tim just he screwed himself and he got caught. It's linguistics is a powerful science, and it's very, very, very difficult to impersonate someone or change yourself into somebody else, both orally and written. Forensics a nay every time. Ooh, wow. That's the first I heard of that, Levi. Man. Oh, I don't know about being a deep state plant. All she is someone that's come in to take advantage of stuff. I mean, she makes money off this stuff, so just like everybody else that's in this racket. Chihuahua Jack Russell, Miss Sisters. It's somebody. Yeah, a friend of mine, my had Jack Russells. He actually raised them and showed them. My oldest brother has a long-haired uh, Jack Russell. Well, let's see. Monograph is doing all countries falling down the master plan. So he's moved on to a different subject now. He just came on the air for anybody interested. Yeah, I don't understand what this attempted hijacking thing is all about. Um, I mean, Randy Erickson had that. Oh, here we go with all the conspiracy theories. Well, thank you, Rapunzel. I appreciate that. Women on the telephone, telewomen. Yeah, that's not surprised there. Well, welcome back. Is Denise in the United States or England? People say she's in the States. I don't know personally. If she's in the States, she got that whatever the problem was with her passport straightened out. Uh, Good night, Marty. Thanks for visiting. The motion yesterday did involve his bail and conditions for his release. The details will not be published until next week. Current um, Broward County Jail is showing that his bail is still at $100,000. Um, so any details will have to be published in court on Monday, um, and then we'll know for certain. I don't want to give out details that aren't on the record yet because I don't want to be giving out bad information. Definitely check out Dodgers videos. They're a riot. Good night, keychain. Well, never mind. Misread the thread. Yeah, hopefully Kim is enjoying her weekend. She doesn't need any more of this crap. I call them Jack Russell jumping beans. I never seen a dog jump so high in my life. And, jeez, talk about a dog that's wired. Unbelievable. I used to go over to my friend's house, and next thing I know, I had all these damn Jack Russells up on my lap, competing for space. And then I had another friend, and he raises Pekingese. And my God, those things are. Whew, those suckers are loud. George. Well, the only thing you can do with the conspiracies, you believe in what you want to believe, and not, and don't believe in what you don't believe, because if you start getting concerned about them. Oh, you're welcome, Dodger. I love your videos. Keep them coming. They are very, very well done. You do a damn good job of editing. And Rebecca does too. Rebecca does good work. There's a bunch of people out there that are doing very good jobs with their videos. I like watching them. Yeah, I wish someone would clear up what this attempted hijacking is all about. Because it's the only thing that's on here on her channel. She posted it 40 minutes ago, and that's as far as it's gone. Yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me to use harnesses, not to use any neck pulls, because that's Amber's hard to walk. I mean, she's walking you and not the other way around. Skippy's not so bad. I like listening to Rebecca's commentary. I love that voice. It's an absolute trip. Randy Q is posting the hijacking. Posted it about 40 minutes ago, and I have no idea what she's talking about. But they're accusing Agent Margaritaville of being one of the kidnappers, and I don't know if they're talking about Field or what. Okay, let me. Yeah. Oh, I missed that one. Got a picture of Levi with earbuds? Yeah, apparently Jeremiah got beat up. She's got a picture of Jeremiah with an eye patch on. And I don't know who the female wrestler is. Taslana keeps putting this crap up. Well, I gotta do something. Okay, let me go here. Okay, why am I not getting... I gotta go to subscriptions. Hey, I am on YouTube. No. I don't anyway. Agent 19, 20 hours ago. Okay, why am I not getting my subscriptions? Go to the... Well, let me just refresh. Okay, let me try it this way. Well, that didn't do me any good. Dodger, what's the name of your channel again? I'm trying to bring it up on search because for some reason I can't get to my subscriptions to find your link. Yeah, Money's been on for a few minutes now. He's into the Corona stuff again. Because I'm trying to find Dodger. Well, let me do it this way. Well, that ain't working. Nope. Yeah, for whatever reason, when I type in Dodger on the search, I get the LA Dodgers. So I don't know. I gotta remember. I ran into this before when trying to find your videos, is to try and figure out how to find you on YouTube. $12 years. Well, my condolences. It's tough losing a dog. They're the most loyal friend, or a cat, or any animal. They're blindly loyal. And dogs especially. Come here, Skippy. Hey, Skippy. Come here, buddy. Skippy! Ah. I swear Skippy's a cat. That dog, if he doesn't want to come to you, he's not. He just went walking past me, went back out into the living room. I'm trying, and what's happening is, for whatever reason, it's not working. I'm not getting Dodgers. It's not coming up. I tried that. I don't know. Is he still here? Go to channel. Well, see, he's in my subscriptions, and that's why. Oh, here we go. Maybe now I'll find him. I'm going to have to scroll down through all these until I find the latest video. Rebecca Ann. Glow. Uh, well, Dodger, what is it? I'm looking down through my subscriptions. What is it exactly on YouTube? Because apparently there's something that separates you from the rest of the Dodgers, and that's what I'm having a hard time figuring out. Juan Saban, I don't know where he is. I don't. Any other time I'm able to find this. Quickest way for me to find it is on Twitter. There we go. Got it. And let's see. Okay, and okay, this is Dodger's latest video, Get a Job. So if anybody goes to that link, you can subscribe, and that way you can see all of Dodger's videos. And what I'll do is I will put it in here with the audio in case he's got copyrighted stuff on there, so I don't run into problems. Let me go to the beginning. Go over here and do the transition. Whoops. Do the transition back. Okay. And what I did, I've got the audio muted because I have a feeling that you've got copyrighted music on here, so I don't want to get a strike. So I'll just, everybody can watch the, whatchamacallit here. And definitely go over to his channel because he plays good music on there. I love it. This is the first time I've seen this. I haven't seen it with the. I'll have to replay it with the music later on. Randy and Timothy say a lot of things. You know, Levi is not going to turn on Kim, so they can get that out of their head. Get a haircut, get a job. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why I turned the audio off, is because yeah, I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. Yeah, I love these videos. Oh, I can imagine. I really need to learn how to do this. This is a riot. Of course, I have a lot of time constraints. That's the big thing. Yeah, it's funny. McDonald's actually pays pretty good. I talked to some people when I was at stopped at McDonald's at the airport the other night, and geez, they get damn good money. It's not really that bad. Yeah, they're mostly college students. Kim and Levi have known each other for over a decade. There is nothing going to tear those people apart. Yeah, so Randy is dreaming. Not going to happen. All right, that takes care of that. That's my. I don't know why this thing keeps opening up. I'm not using the machine yet. Yeah, that's amazing. You do excellent work. I love it. Well, the minimum wage I believe is seven something an hour. It's eight. I believe we went to 8.40 an hour in Florida. Um, and it varied. Every state has their own minimum wage, and it's higher than the federal minimum wage. And I believe that Washington, the state of Washington or the state of Oregon, is at $15 an hour. It's amazing. California, I think, has got a high minimum wage too. Of course, they need it out there. But, no, it's not a living wage. The minimum wage hasn't gone up in a long, 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 long time. And it's the one thing yeah, they really need to raise the minimum wage. I don't see how people can live on it, to be honest. I mean, we've only got one shot here. We don't get reincarnated and all that, so we got to make the most of it when we're here. So we might as well be as comfortable as we can be. Well, I think Bernie was gonna raise the taxes on the wealthy and do some other stuff. If I'm a betting man, it looks like Biden will probably pick up the nomination. Um, yeah, Mish, that sounds about right. They're doing this where they most either in the states or Canada that enact the minimum wage laws, they graduated up. Um, well, Dodger has a fun brain. We'll put it that way. Of course, Tim has information on Elizabeth Warren. Tim's got information on Biden. Tim has all the answers. He's the smartest unemployed pizza delivery driver in the world. Sheesh. Oh, God. Here we go with the Pocahontas stuff. But anyway, Elizabeth is out of the running now, so everybody can leave Elizabeth alone. Well, the rich can afford it. I mean, you don't have to soak them, but at least make it an equitable situation because the wealthy, the super rich have deductions in place that anybody in the middle and lower incomes don't have access to. So that their net income, they're not going to be paying that much tax on, even at, you know, double the current tax rate. Oh, someone else involved in satanic ritual abuse. I think that's all Tim is about. Is he has got his head in the satanical ritual abuse stuff, and that's all he's interested in. And anything he talks about, it has to be associated with satanic ritual abuse. You know, and child trafficking and everything else. Of course, it's all tied together because people buy the babies to do the satanic ritual abuses and trafficking and whatever. Nationalist populist. Okay, I'll have to read up on that. I consider myself a centrist, a fiscal conservative, but kind of a social moderate, slightly to the left. Well, that's the thing, Levi. I don't know where Randy comes up with the stuff. I hadn't seen that, but she's stupid. Um, so that's just Randy and Tim for that matter. Yeah, it's both amusing and stupid. If we're talking about Tim. Well, the one I don't understand is this Teslana. She keeps sending these dumb pictures. And I'm going to DM this one to you. Oh, I don't know what happened here. Okay, where? Yeah, I love how you go after Denny boy. Guy's a freak. Unreal. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, Mish. I don't think I'm so much of a nationalist because I think we need immigration reform and not an outright ban on them. Um, we do have to do something about the immigration situation in both countries, but I think it's just a little too drastic how it's being handled right now. All right, where did it go? Oh my. All right, where'd she go? Oh, there we go. Hi, Sunflower. How you doing? Yeah, he does. That guy is something else. You know, he needs to have his ass handed to him on a silver platter. I prefer not to either, Levi. It creates too many problems. But people come in here, and they can say their piece, but I would prefer we stay on topic. But I'm not gonna come down with an iron fist. Yeah, that lawsuit that Hagman filed, that never went anywhere. Hmm. That's hard to say. There may not be any Corona beer left over. Well, a person, it's a good idea that he doesn't. If you're engaging in any kind of litigation or have a case, you really don't want to talk about it. You want to let the court do the talking because you can screw yourself up if you start talking about your case. So I can understand him not doing that. Now, Hagee is supposed to be suing Preacher Dan, if I read the post correctly. Well, the Federal Reserve seems to be turning political. They shouldn't be tampering with um, the money system the way they are, But I think, you know, I, I'm not sure why. What in heck is going on here? Yeah, that's correct, Dodger. He's suing Daniel, and it's going to take a while for that to work through the court. Sunflower, I haven't, no. Okay, I'm going to try and put this in the room. I was just sent this by Kim Bacasio, so let's see if it transfers over. And I will read the statement. Okay, this is directly from Kim Bacasio. Someone said Levi is turning on me, question mark. They must not know us very well. There are less than a handful of people on the entire earth that I trust implicitly with my secrets, my heart, and my feelings. Levi is one of those few. Always will be. And that is directly from Kim Bacasio just now. Yep, now just line us back with the underwear pictures again. Jesus. Yeah, this is too long. I can't post it. So let me break this up. Yep. I had to break this up into two separate posts to get it on here. GS Grippler? No, it is not. Um, yeah, the last flu shot I got made me sick. I know. Mhm. Yeah, Mish. The only thing I know is the last time I took a flu shot, I got sick as a dog. And I don't know. Number one, I'm allergic to penicillin. So I don't know what they put in that flu shot, but man. And what's funny is prior to that, I've had flu shots every year prior to that. But this last one, it was just knocked me down big time. Created all kinds of problems. Yeah, flu shots in the States, it depends on um, either Medicare, Medicaid will cover it, or your insurance companies, or it's pretty cheap. It just depends on the arrangements. Because they're constantly putting up get your free flu shot and all this stuff. That's correct, Sabrina. Um, I actually I I can't remember what the exact reaction is to it, but um, I can't have it, and I need to get a medical alert bracelet. But Sunflower, I don't know which marriage he's from. I understand that his son is 34 or something like that. He's married with a 2.5-year-old child, and he owns his own business. That's basically his background. And he is a military veteran. He went to Afghanistan twice, I believe. Yeah, this darn thing only has 200 word limit, which is why I put that. I went ahead and screen capped her statement and put it up there because it gets around the 200 word limit because her thing is like 238 without the permission at the end. Yeah, that's a problem with these things. Plus, it just goes blowing by. So this way it stays up. Yeah, they really got to watch it with these vaccines. Sunflower, we may be talking about a different sun. From what I read in the instructions that were published as a proposed, it says he has uh, one child living in the house, and she's 2.5 years old. So I don't know. And he lives one county north, up in he's in Stewart, Florida, which is one county north. Well, if the world is ending, it's been a hell of a ride. You know, just if we're gonna go, let's go quick. Oh, thanks, and God bless you too, Fireman John. I wish we had the Canadian system. That's the one thing I wish we had. I don't. This socialist label. I don't like to label things a certain way just because we disagree with the philosophy. But I like the Canadian system, and you know, be nice to have down here. But politically, I don't know if we're ever going to go there. Hi, Sunflower. Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I'm up in Apopka, Florida. About 2.5, 3 hours north of there, northwest actually. It's Apopka is a suburb of Orlando. Foliage capital of the world. Well, I agree that we're over dependent on medicine. I mean, they want to shove pills down your throat, and I think, I resist that. I have more arguments with my doctors about all these damn drugs they want to give me. It's ridiculous. And what's weird, I work briefly for a courier service, and they actually, uh, I would deliver to the salesperson, one of which was a woman, and she says they get a kickback. Um, the doctors get a kickback for uh, prescribing certain drugs, and that's wrong. It shouldn't be allowed. And they send them free samples and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Sabrina, I know it's not free, but our private health insurance in this country is ungodly expensive. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Preacher Dan is getting sued. I don't know how far along that lawsuit's gone. He said some things about another commentator, and the guy said, if you don't knock it off, I'm going to sue you. And so he's being sued because the guy's had enough. So, do I know how many Canadians come to the United States for Medicare? No, I don't. Uh, Actually, I hear the opposite. There's people that go up to Canada for certain things, and there's people in the States that also go down to Mexico. It's called medical tourism. Okay. All right, Amber. Amber, Amber. Yeah. Come on up. We'll put you on camera. All right. My mascot showed up. All right, everybody in the room. This is Amber. Hello, Amber. Yeah. Amber came say hi. She likes the scratchies. Yes, you do. You like your scratchies. Ow. Boy, you got big fingernails. Yes, you do. All right, turn around. Yeah, come on. Come on, give me kisses. Yeah. Amber's taking all the shawl. Oh, my God. Yeah, girl. Oh, you're such a good little. Oh, all right, all right. Nothing like dog smoothies. Jeez. Yeah. She likes the back scratch. Yeah. It's usually the cute. She comes out on cue right about towards the end of the show most of the time, maybe even a little earlier. She likes to raid me. Yeah, this is a 7-year-old puppy, and she's a long-haired dachshund mix, and she's a rescue. Skippy's a rescue. And he's a chai peak or something like that. Can't think of that. Whew. Oh, what you doing? Yeah, okay. Oh, it's up into the 100,000. Yep, Amber. That's what I go. Instead of just calling Amber, we go Amber. It's kind of like an echo. All right, let me put you down, girl. There you go. Good girl. All right, go get him. Go. God, that dog gives the mushiest kisses, I swear. Yeah, my Medicare is like $1.25 or something like that. I just changed the insurance company, so the price came down. But because I'm 69, I'm on Medicare. Well, thank you, Patriotic. That's the way I like to do things. Is I just like to let the guests talk, and you know, hopefully they look at the chat and they can answer people's questions on the chat. Um, and I don't interrupt unless it's absolutely necessary. And interesting. I always wanted to go and live in Canada, but it's too damn cold up there. Yeah, you don't. Sorry about that. I didn't hit the mic button in time. When I do my videos, I usually. Ooh, yeah, excuse me. I usually edit all this out. Oh wow, didn't know that. This disability works a little, about the same way down here. It's another social media personalities that is suing Preacher Dan. Can't remember what his name is. I saw the video where he threatened to sue him, and I guess he's gone ahead with it because you know Preacher Dan is like Tim Holseth. He won't shut the hell up, and you got to hit him where it counts in order to get him to shut up. And so the guy is suing him. Doug Hagman, that's who it is. Yeah, it definitely keeps the creepy crawlies away. That's a big disadvantage of Florida. And you get all kinds of them. And all you can do is, you can't eliminate them, but you can control them. So, people in the pest control business make a fortune in this state. But I was up in Canada twice. I drove the Queen Elizabeth, and I think it's the Q1 or Q2 that goes all the way across. Went up to Quebec, and I've also been over to Prince Edward Island. That's an interesting experience taking a tractor trailer to Prince Edward Island. Took a lot of potatoes up there. Or no, tomatoes. I brought potatoes out of Prince Edward. I took a load of tomatoes up there. That was that was fun. You have to go to Prince Edward Island, get your load off, get your new load, and get back down there in time to catch the ferry, or else you're stuck in Prince Edward Island overnight. I had to stay in Canada and wait overnight in order to catch the ferry to go over to Prince Edward Island. I loved it though. That was an amazing ride. And Prince Edward Island's an interesting little place. But I've been to Montreal, Quebec. Had to go and clear customs. I had people's furniture on the truck, and in order to deliver their furniture, I had to go through customs. And then from there, I go to a warehouse in Canada to unload their furniture. It's really weird. Spent the whole damn day there. Building must have been 300 years old. Looked like a big castle. The 401. Okay. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've been up there. No sales tax. We've got 7.5% here. 6.5, 7.5 depends. And our sales taxes, it's a combination of state and county taxes, and it varies by county. Florida does not have an income tax. It's all sales taxes and use taxes is how we pay our government here. Oh, they did? Wow. That has to be a long ass bridge. Because I think it took me almost a half hour to get over to Prince Edward on the ferry. Boy, that saves a boatload of time to do that. That shows you, it's been, let's see, I think it was 1990 something I went up there. So it's been a long time. Jeez. That's kind of like, some of the bridges we have here in United States, like the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel and stuff like that. That has to be one hell of a long bridge. Tennessee doesn't have income tax. I didn't know that. Wow. Because I know it's Florida doesn't have it, Nevada doesn't have it, and interesting. Hmm. Okay, Mish. How long has that bridge been there? Because I remember I took the damn ferry. So that's either was built after I was there, or the way I took to get to Prince Edward Island, I wasn't close enough to the bridge. Interesting. Boy, was it cold up there. Jesus Christ. Said I was never so glad to get back in the United States side, and you guys get cold up there, man. Yeah, going across that because I went over in the middle of the winter and it was cold, man. Yeah, I've been on the 7 Mile Bridge because I've been down to Key West a few times. They finally built a 4-lane bridge, but that's a long puppy. Hmm. I haven't been on the Confederation Bridge. Tennessee, Kentucky doesn't have a sales tax. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Well, that explains it. I bought stuff in Kentucky when I was doing the coverage up there, and I didn't, I don't recall paying any sales tax. I also got a parking ticket up there I never paid. Oh, God, don't look at my teeth. Yeah, I'm not getting flu shots anymore. Man, I tell you that after that last one, I thought I was gonna die. Jeez whiz. Yeah, I'm real sensitive to the cold though, Rapunzel. I used to live in upstate New York, and I moved down here to get away from it. That plus the economy sucked. So, but it's just I don't like cold at all. Victoria, British Columbia. Okay. When did they build the Confederation Bridge? Because I had to have gone up there before it. I've been trucking for 40 years, but it would have been in the 80s or early 90s when I went up there. I drove the Cindy Abs route almost to Edmond, Alberta. It was way too cold. Huh, interesting. God, it's like you can use baking soda for everything. Jeez. Yeah, that guy is something else. Unbelievable. Yeah, right, folks. It's 3 minutes after midnight, and so I gotta prepare for tomorrow's schedule for the rest of the week. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Uh, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for the drive-a-thon tomorrow. So maybe Timmy and Randy and somebody else will come up with something that I can ramble on with for the 40 minutes it takes me to go south. But in the meantime, uh, Monday hopefully will be the big day when we find out what is going on with Field McConnell and the court order. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to do one last check of Twitter before I run off and see if anything worthwhile is going on there. And let's see what I got. Okay, that takes care of that. Oh, now I'm glad she sent that. I lost this mugshot. I'm glad she sent this. Good, something good to close the show out with. Okay, so I'm going to close her out since I'm done with her. And let's see. I'm going to put up one last picture. I believe this is the first, as soon as I get it on here, I believe this is the first mugshot of Tim Holmseth that was put up. It's not up yet, so be patient with me. Yeah, this is. That's good enough. Okay, and so we close the show out with our guest of honor, Timothy Charles Home Suck, as Monty would like to say. Early in his career, he's 71 inches. Of course, he's not standing straight, he's slouching. God. So, again, thank you everybody for showing up. And tomorrow, I will do a mobile thon. I will figure something to talk about. And everybody have a good Sunday. God bless everyone. Try not to get sick. Um, and what have you. And we'll see what happens. So this is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one.